बोलिए लाडली लाल की जय। श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। एकमेवाक्षरं यस्तु गुरुः शिष्यं प्रबोधयेत्। पृथिव्यां नास्ति तद्द्रव्यं यद्दत्त्वा चानिणो भवेत्। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। नमः कमलना भाय नमः कमल मालिने नमः कमल पादाय नमस्ते कमलेक्षण। यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तग्वं ह देवमात्म बुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। Divine souls, now please join me in chanting the holy names of Shri Krishna, Bhajo Giridhar Govind Gopala, alongside with doing Roop Dhyan. Bhajo Giridhar Govind Gopala,
भजो गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला।
भजो गिरिधर गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला।
भजो गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला।
भजो गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला
भजो गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला
भजो गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला
भजो गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला
भजो मोर मुकुट मुरली वाला
भजो मोर मुकुट मुरली वाला
भजो गिरिधर गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला
भजो 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 मोर मुकुट मुरली वाला
भजो मोर मुकुट मुरली वाला
भजो
जय हो
गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला
भजो 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 गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला।
बोलिए वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की
जय।
श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की
जय।
Devotional listeners, now please let me have your undivided attention as I continue to explain the Vedic verse, Tameva viditvati mrityumeti nanyaha pantha vidyate yanaya. We have learned so far that every living being in God's creation is an eternal part and parcel of God, who is the embodiment of perfect happiness, unlimited happiness. This proves that we are all fractions of happiness, and as such, we always desire happiness. Our countless lifetimes have been dedicated to the search for happiness that we have yet to receive. That happiness has to be unlimited, everlasting, immeasurable, and ever increasing. We have not yet found that, so we continue our search. In other words, we are searching for God because it is only by knowing God that we can receive this happiness. The Vedas and Vedic scriptures told us this. When we went out in search of God, we found out that God cannot be known through any means or methods. He cannot be known by our senses, mind, and intellect, but He can be known when He graces us. Then anyone can know Him. How to attain the grace of God? We found out that it is by surrendering to Him that we receive His grace. What does surrendering to God mean? It means giving our mind to Him, because surrender means a state of complete inactivity. And since it's our mind that does everything for us, it is the mind that has to be given to God. But our mind has been eternally surrendered to the material world. So what should we do? So we looked at the nature and reality of the world and found out that our mind is attached to the world because it is suffering from the illusion that there is happiness in the world. So we proved to our mind that there is no happiness in the world. We gave logics to our mind to convince the mind of this fact. If there was happiness in something or someone, then everyone in the world would be happy at all times with everyone and with everything. But there is no such object or individual that makes everyone happy at all times in the same amount. At the same time, there's no unhappiness in the world either, because if that were so, then everyone would have been unhappy at all times with everyone, with each and every one in the world, and at all times in the same amount. So Vishnu Puran told us that there's no happiness or unhappiness in the world. We wanted to know what it is that we call happiness, that we experience from time to time. And we were told that our mind imagines there to be happiness in something or someone, and we start experiencing imaginary happiness from that person or that thing. But because that happiness is imaginary, we stop receiving it after some time. Or that happiness goes down in limit until it disappears altogether. When our mind finds this out, when our mind accepts this fact, then the mind becomes detached from the world. Detachment means neither love nor hatred. The mind will neither love the world nor will it hate the world. Kabir Das ji says, Kabira khada bazar mein sabki mange khair, na kahu so dosti, na kahu so bair. He says, I am sitting or standing in the marketplace of the world, and I do not love anyone, I do not hate anyone. I am neutral towards everyone. That is a state of detachment. With a detached mind, we can now go towards God and attach our mind to God. But we do not know how to attach our mind to God. We'll need help. We need to know who is God, what is God all about, what is the nature of God, what is the path leading to self-surrender to God. Scriptures talk about many paths. Are all the paths equally valid? Or is there one path that will lead me to God? There are so many questions that we have in the mind. So we will need a personality who will help us, who will give us the answers to our questions, who will put an end to our confusions, who will solve our doubts. And that personality is the Guru. So now I'm going to start the topic of Guru, who is the gateway to God. In the world, we want to learn many things. Many worldly subjects are there, and we want to know them. So we need a teacher. A child needs a teacher to teach her ABC, 1, 2, 3, basic knowledge. Even basic knowledge, worldly knowledge, cannot be acquired without the help of a teacher. That teacher may be a teacher in the classroom. That teacher may be an older sibling. It may be a parent. It may be anyone, but the child needs a teacher. The child has to be taken by the hand and shown how to draw A. Okay, you make a slanted line like this, then you make it like this. Yes, it looks like a teepee. Yes, yes. Then you put a line in the middle, and that's an A. Then the child tries to write A so many times. Finally, the child understands. And then B, and then the child keeps on learning. But basic knowledge of the alphabet requires a teacher. Then how can we think that the knowledge of God, the highest knowledge of all, the knowledge of divine God, can be acquired by ourselves? We need a divine teacher known as the Guru. We cannot go into the Vedas and understand them. You know, when Bhagwan gives the knowledge to Brahma, knowledge of the Vedas to Brahma, in the beginning of the creation period, Brahma is born from the navel of the Supreme Lord. And God gives him, reveals to him the knowledge of the Vedas. But Brahma does not understand anything. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye Muhyanti Yat Suraya. So God seats himself in the heart of Brahma and reveals to him the meaning of the Vedas. And then Brahma knows the Vedas. Do we think that we are more intelligent than Brahma? Brahma, who creates everything out of nothing. There are no building blocks. There's nothing, and Brahma creates everything. Tasmadva etasmad atmana akasha sambhutah akashad vayuragnihi agnerapah adbhya prithivya aushadhaya, etc. Taittiriya Upanishad tells us that there was nothing. In the beginning of the creation period, there is nothing. And Brahma creates space out of nothing. From space, air. From air, fire. From fire, he creates water. Isn't that amazing? From fire, he creates water. From water, earth. And from the earth, we get so many grains and so much food stuff. Brahma, who creates everything out of nothing, he does not understand the Vedas. How can we fare better than Brahma? Acharyavan Purusho hi Ved. The only way to understand the Vedas is to have the Vedas explained by the Guru, by the Acharya. Acharyavan, Acharyavala, like Dhanavan, Dhanvala. One who has dhan or wealth is Dhanavan. He's wealthy one. One who has Roop, beauty, is the beautiful one, Roopavan. So Acharyavan, Acharya means Guru. Acharyavan meaning one who has Acharya, one who has a Guru. The one who is guided by a Guru, he can understand the Vedas, not anyone else. He cannot understand them by reading them. Muhyanti yat surayah, he will become very confused. Because the Vedas are a form of Bhagwan Narayan himself. Vedo Narayana Sakshat, says the Bhagavad Puran. The Vedas are Bhagwan himself. They are the form of Narayan, Mahavishnu himself. Therefore, we cannot know the Vedas by ourselves. We need a Guru who will explain the Vedas to us, who will explain the Vedic scriptures to us, and who will tell us only as much of scriptural knowledge that we need to know. Otherwise, we will get indigestion, right? If we get so much information that we don't need, there's no need for the Guru to give us that knowledge. So the Guru gives knowledge that is essential for the disciple. Guru is the divine teacher. The Vedas define the Guru as Gum Rauti iti Guruhu. Grinati Jnanam iti Guruhu. Girati Ajnanam iti Guruhu. The Vedas say the one who gives knowledge of God is the Guru. The one who destroys ignorance is the Guru. Now, after the Vedas, we have the Purans. In the Bhagavad Mahapuran, Vedavyasji tells us that we need a Guru to know God. Tasmad Gurum Prapadyet Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam Shabde Pare Cha Nishnatam Brahmanyupashamashrayam. You need to surrender to the Guru before you can gain the knowledge of God. In the Gita, Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. This is chapter 4, verse 34, Bhagavad Gita. Shri Krishna says, Arjun, if one wants to know God, one will have to surrender to the Guru. Pranipatena, he must surrender fully to the Guru, not just bowing the head at the lotus feet of the Guru, but giving the Guru his mind and intellect. Full surrender is necessary to the Guru. And Bhagavan is saying this. Pranipatena, then pariprashnena, then the disciple must ask the Guru questions. The questions that he has, because otherwise he will be filled with doubts. Or he will try to answer the questions himself and he'll become very confused. So he needs to ask those questions. He needs to ask the Guru those questions. But then Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, pariprashnena. He doesn't just say prashna, he says, or prashnena, he says pariprashnena. He qualifies those questions, just as he has qualified surrender, full surrender, true surrender, not just bowing the head, but bowing the mind. Now, he says, you must ask questions that are genuine questions. Do not ask questions to test the ability of that Guru. Do not try to test him. Do not have a preconceived answer in your mind. Do not have this pre-planned answer in your mind and then just ask the question just for the sake of asking, just as a time pass. That is wrong. It's wrong to ask questions like this. And if you ask the question, then you must accept the answer. Then you should not argue. But then you say, well, I don't know. How can I just accept it like that? I don't have the faith. Then do not ask the question. If you don't have faith, then do not ask question. Ask questions that are genuine. Those questions must be born from an inquisitive mind, never a doubting mind. And then sevaya. Arjun, one must serve the Guru. Serve the Guru. How? With everything. Tan, man, dhan. With body, mind, and wealth. Tan, body, man, mind, dhan, wealth. Serve him in every which way, in every possible way. But the Guru must be served, Guru and God, of course, must be served mentally. That is the main seva. The seva that you do in your mind, that is the main seva. Then what's the point? What is the purpose of serving the Guru physically and financially? I would rather not. I would rather just serve him in my mind. No, those other two sevas are essential, because if you do not serve physically and financially, you will not be able to serve the Guru you will not be able to serve the Guru mentally. He will not even enter the mind. God and Guru do not enter the mind just like that. we must sacrifice that which is dearest to us. In Kali Yuga, money is the dearest to a person, very, very dear to a person. It's very difficult to part with one's wealth. A person finds it very normal to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on his daughter's wedding. But when the temple people come asking, we're building a temple, can you please give a nice donation? He says, oh, I don't really have any money, here's $100. This is the trait of Kali Yuga, people living in Kali Yuga. There are very few exceptions to this rule. So God says, Bhagwan Shri Krishna says himself, serve the Guru, serve him physically. This body was given to us so that we may use it in the service of God and Guru. What are we keeping it for? To serve the world? That brings us back to this world in lower forms of life. Or it even takes us down to hell, depending on the class of individuals we are serving. Same thing goes with financial seva. This is why Shri Krishna says, serve the Guru. But main seva is mental seva, seva that you do in your mind. Now there was a Sethji, a rich man, and he was very miserly. He was as miserly as he was rich. So he heard once in a lecture that you can do manasik seva, and he was very happy about that. He started doing it, and he did it diligently. Every morning, in his mind, he would wake Kanhaiya up, and he would bathe him. He would put nice clothes on him. He would prepare breakfast for him. He did Ashtayami seva, right from waking Kanhaiya up in the morning till putting him down to sleep at night. And he did this for years, and he became really good at it. Now in his Roop Dhyan, he actually felt that Shri Krishna was right in front of him. He actually felt that. It was no longer in imagination. It was so real to him. So one day, he was cooking a lavish meal for Shri Krishna, for his beloved Lord. And he made many delicacies, and then he made the dessert. He made kheer, rice pudding. When he made the kheer, he put slivered almonds on top, in his imagination, in his Roop Dhyan. And he topped it off with kesar. Kesar tends to be expensive, and Sethji knows that. And so he took a little box of kesar, saffron, the few strands he wanted to put in because they're very fragrant, and they add a very nice saffron color to the kheer. So in his Roop Dhyan, he is sprinkling some strands of kesar. And inadvertently, he puts too much kesar in the kheer. He's thinking this, oh, I'm wasting money. I put too much kesar in it. So true to his nature, he took a spoon and he was taking some of the kesar out of the kheer. Because he was a miser. He thought, let me save some for next time. And Shri Krishna smiled at him. Look at this fellow. He has not spent a dime, and yet he is taking some kesar out. So Shri Krishna held on to the man's hand and said, you haven't spent a penny on this. Let it go. Let there be too much kesar in my kheer. Shri Krishna truly appeared before this man. Manasik seva brings about wonderful results. Roop Dhyan, serving God and Guru in the mind. This is what we need to do. So, surrender fully to the Guru. Ask him questions to dispel your doubts and to gain true knowledge, and serve the Guru. The Guru does not gain anything by your service. You gain everything by serving him. So, Shri Krishna is telling Arjun this. In other words, he's telling all of us this by telling Arjun. Now the Ramayana says, Guru binu bhavanidhi tarai na koi jo viranchi sankar samuhoi. Even the great ones, even though you may be as great as Brahma, Vishnu or Shankar, you still need a guru to take you to God. You cannot cross the ocean of Maya without the guru. The guru is the one who will drive your boat. This human body is a boat. It's like a boat. And the ocean of Maya has to be crossed. But there needs to be someone who is steering the boat, who knows how to steer the boat, and that is the guru. So the Ramayana also says that we need a guru. Now, how do you recognize a guru? Mundakopanishad says, Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmano nirveda mayan nastya kritah kriten tad vigyanartham sabguru meva bhigachet samit panihi shrotriyam brahmanishtham. Mundakopanishad says, surrender to the guru completely. Gurum eva abhigacchati. Abhigacchati completely. Ev only. Surrender only to the guru and surrender to him completely. How should you approach the guru? You must approach him with reverence. Go with faith and reverence, and he will enrich you. And how do you recognize a guru? What are the qualifications of a guru? Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam says this verse from Mundakopanishad. So this verse tells us that we should surrender fully to the guru and approach him with shraddha and reverence. Samit panihi. And what is the qualification of the guru? 2 qualifications. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Shrotriyam, first of all. He must have thorough knowledge of all the scriptures. Thorough knowledge. He must know all the scriptures inside out, completely. Not memorized knowledge. He must know them inside out. And for that, he must fulfill the second condition, that is Brahmanishtam. He must have a practical experience of God. He must be Bhagavad Prapta Mahapurush. He must be a God-realized saint. He must be a sant. Sant means, or saint we say in English, it means Mahapurush. It means one who has surrendered to God and therefore has become just like God. He has become divine. He has a divine mind, divine intellect. His thoughts are divine. There are no diseases of Maya such as anger, greed, hatred, pride, envy, hypocrisy. He has no worldly desires, no worldly attachments. He's a guru. He's not a work in progress. That's not a guru. That's a sadhak. Bear in mind, that's a sadhak. He's also trying to get to God just like you are. Just like we are, he's also trying to go to God. He's a sadhak. He's not a guru. Let's say that you want to cross a river and there is someone who says, okay, climb on my back, I'll take you there. I'm very strong. I'm a good swimmer. Now that person has to be an excellent swimmer. Otherwise, you'll both drown. So in order to cross the ocean of Maya, you cannot take the help of a sadhak because both will drown. Andhenaiva niyamana yathandha. To take another example, it's like the blind leading the blind. He's a sadhak, you're a sadhak. How can you take his guidance? He will drop you halfway, or he may fall down himself, and you will also fall with him. So, Guru is one who is perfect, who is a perfect being. He knows all the scriptures inside out because he is Brahmanisht. He is God-realized. He may look like an ordinary person because what else will he look like? He comes and stays in our midst. He lives in our midst. He has to look like us, otherwise we would not be able to identify with him. But there's nothing ordinary about him on the inside. Now, our problem is that we're not all knowing. We only judge a person from what he looks like on the outside. That's what we tend to do because we're not omniscient. So how do we recognize a guru? There are 4 kinds of people living in the world. 2 are worldly Different types of saints. First type of worldly person is the one who has all the vices of Maya within him, anger, greed, and the rest. And he doesn't pretend to be anything more than he is. So there's no problem with this kind of person because he is controlled by Maya and he doesn't pretend to be anything more than that. But then the second type of worldly person is the one who has all the ailments of Maya. He suffers from all of them: anger, greed, hatred, pride, lust, envy, hypocrisy, all of them, but he pretends that he doesn't. He shows himself off as someone who is a perfect being. He makes disciples. He gives Guru Mantra. Everything he does to show that he's a Guru. But he may be a sadhak, or he may not even be a sadhak. That's the second type of worldly person. Now, this creates a problem for us. And to make it more difficult for us, there are two kinds of saints. One is the kind of saint, a Bhagavad Prapt Mahapurush, who is not worldly on the inside, and he doesn't pretend to be worldly on the outside. He is divine on the inside, he is lost in the thoughts of God, but outwardly, he does not act worldly. So we can recognize such a saint. Oh, that's a saint, that's a Guru. But unfortunately, 99%, I would say 99.9% saints who have come to this world they don't fit into this category. They fit into the second category, and that is a saint who is divine on the inside, but acts like he is suffering from Maya on the outside. He acts worldly on the outside. That complicates matters for us, doesn't it? Because we have one kind of person in the world who acts like he is a godly saint, and we have the godly saint who is perfect from the inside, but who acts worldly on the outside. You may think that while it's possible for a worldly man to act like a divine personality, a divine Guru, how is it possible for a divine Guru, a divine one, to act worldly? How is that possible? When I acquaint you with some examples from history, you will understand that not only is it possible, it has happened countless times. He is divine on the inside, but looks worldly on the outside. Now, why would a saint do this? Why would he act worldly on the outside? It may be because if he were to act godly on the outside, imagine if a Guru were to say, now listen to me, people, listen to me, I have something very important to tell you. I am a Guru and I'm going to give you the knowledge of God. Now, how many people would believe him? How many people would believe him? Because we expect modesty from those who are great. We don't expect a Guru to say, I'm a Guru, you can listen to me. Durvasa Muni did that once. That was his Leela. He went to Dwarka when Bhagwan Shri Krishna was a king, 5,000 years ago. And he started shouting in the streets, I am a Guru, I am Bhagavad Prapt Mahapurush. If you accept me, I can take you all the way to God. And so many people came out of the doors and they said, came out of their houses, and they said, wow, a Guru doesn't really proclaim himself to be a Guru, but now he is proclaiming himself, so we should become his disciples. But then he said, but be very careful if you become my Guru and you do not listen to my instructions. If you disobey me, I will cut off your head. Everybody thought, is he a madman or what? And they all went back inside in their homes and they locked the doors. But Bhagwan Shri Krishna came running barefoot and said, Maharaj, please accept me as your disciple. And Durvasa Muni made Shri Krishna go through a series of tests. He tested Shri Krishna, and then in the end he said, okay, now you can be my disciple. And you have to listen to every instruction of mine and obey every instruction of mine. Generally, a Guru does not proclaim himself to be a Guru, because we wouldn't believe him. And then, gopaniyam, gopaniyam, gopaniyam prayatnataha. It is a nature of someone who is truly devoted to God, a true lover of God, to hide his love. These saints are very secretive. They don't proclaim their love for God, because if love is proclaimed, then it becomes less. Now, there's no question of their love for God ever lessening, but it's not the nature of a saint to proclaim his love for God. A child wrote to Sri Maharajji, Maharajji, I know that you are not just my guru, you're God. And Sri Maharajji wrote back, my dear child, I'm just like you. I'm just like you. I'm ordinary like you. But if through me you're getting some help, you're gaining the knowledge of God through me, then I consider myself very fortunate. Jagat Guruttam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, fifth Jagat Guru, and best of all Jagat Gurus who have come so far, Jagat Guruttam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj never accepted himself to be a guru, a saint. He never said that. He wouldn't hear anyone say it. Because it is a nature of a saint to hide his true nature. Whatever the reason may be, but I will now take you to all the four yug, all the four ages, beginning with Satyug, to show you that we have had saints who have graced this earth. And they have acted very worldly. Let's go to Satyug first. We see the four sons of Brahma. Sanak, Sanatan, Sanandan, Sanat Kumar. They're called, collectively they're called Sanakadik. Sanak, Adi, Sanakadik, Sanak, etc. So Sanak and then his three brothers. Four sons of Brahma. They're mind-born sons of Brahma, the creator. They always look like they're 6-year-olds, but they are always absorbed in the thoughts of Brahma. One day, these four brothers went to Vaikunt to have Lord Mahavishnu's darshan. And they passed the first 6 gates without any problems. When they came to the 7th and the final gate, the guards there, the doorkeepers, gatekeepers, Jay and Vijay, the divine servants of Bhagwan Mahavishnu, the gatekeepers, they stopped these boys, thinking them to be little children. This made these four brothers so angry that they pronounced a curse on Jay and Vijay. Jao Rakshas ban jao. Go and be demons. Mahavishnu came out and found out what had gone on, and so he begged forgiveness from the four sons of Brahma. But they said, Lord, we are your servants. If you want, we can take back the curse we have put on these two, Jay and Vijay. Bhagwan said, no, just reduce their curse a little bit. So then Jay and Vijay were born. They were given the curse that they would be born for 3 consecutive births as demons, as asurs, rakshasas. And they did. Now the question is, the 4 sons of Brahma, they cannot suffer from anger. Why did they get angry? How is it that they pronounced a curse on Jay and Vijay? And then Jay and Vijay are also divine, because you cannot be an ordinary person and be a divine and be the gatekeepers in Vaikunt. Everyone there is divine. So they're divine. How is it that they didn't understand who Sanakadik were? And how is it that Sanakadik put a curse on these 2 brothers? This shows us that the divine ones act worldly. But let's get back to earth now. We're talking about Vaikuntha-lok, but here on earth, this earth was graced by Dhruv, Prahlad, and Ambarish in Satyug. Dhruv and Prahlad were little children when they attained God, so they became saints, or they became Mahapurush at a very young age. And after becoming God realized, they both ruled over kingdoms. for a very, very long time, because people lived for a long time at that in Satyug. So they ruled the kingdom for thousands of years. And as kings, they had to perform works of anger, greed, hatred, pride, envy, all sorts of actions. Sometimes you see them, they were getting married. Prahlad got married, he had a wife, they had a son, and yet God realized, and there's nothing worldly about him. People looked at him, they saw him, and they thought, he's a king, he's an ordinary man. He's a great man, but he's a king. People couldn't have understood him to be a divine one. A king, and he's a sant, he's a Mahapurush. How can that be? Yet, it happened. Dhruv was another, Ambarish was another. There have been many. So, some examples from Satyug of saints who acted worldly on the outside. Can you imagine a king? What kind of works he has to do? He has to expand his kingdom. So, he would seem even more worldly than even a worldliest person. Living in the lap of luxury, wearing satin, fancy clothing, and fancy ornaments. So many servants and maidservants, and yet he is a sant on the inside. He's a saint on the inside. Now let's go to Treta, shall we? In Treta Yuga, when Bhagwan Sri Ram graces this earth, he brings along many of his true devotees who are divine, but they act worldly. But let's first take the example of Mother Parvati. Now, she is goddess. She is the supreme goddess. Bhagwan Shankar's eternal consort, Parvati. Parvati ji saw Bhagwan Sri Ram during the exile, and she became very confused. What did she see that confused her? Bhagwan Ram was like a madman. He was devastated because Sita had been abducted by Ravan. Re vriksha parvatastha girigahanalata vayuna vijyamana ramoham vyakulatma. I am Ram, and I am so disturbed because my Sita is not by my side. She has been kidnapped. And he's asking the trees, Re vriksha parvatastha girigahanalata. He's asking the trees. He's asking the mountains. He's asking also creatures of the forest. Have you seen my Sita anywhere? Ha khagmrig, he khagmrig, he madhukar shreni, tum dekhi Sita mrignani. Have you seen my beautiful eyed Sita anywhere? Her eyes are beautiful. She's my doe-eyed Sita. She's so beautiful. Have you seen her anywhere? He's asking deer. He's asking birds. He's asking even inanimate objects. This is what Parvati ji saw. And she became very confused. She said, this Ram, he's supposed to be God? I don't think so. She used her intellect, and her intellect told her, no. Her intellect decided, no, this cannot be Ram. This cannot be God. But then she thought, my husband, Shankar Bhagwan, Shankar Jagat Vandya Jagadisa, Sur Nar Muni Sab Navat Sisa, Tinh Nrip Sutahi Kinh Parnama, Kahi Sachidanand Pardhama. But my husband is Jagadish, Jagat ke Ish. He is the Lord of the universe. And he has done pranam to Ram. So that must mean that, and he has said, and he addressed this Ram as the Supreme Lord. So my husband, Shankar Bhagwan, cannot be wrong. Oh, this Ram is God. But then her intellect said, no, he cannot be God. Why? Because God is omnipresent. He's present everywhere. But this Ram is in one place. I don't see him everywhere. The very definition of Brahm, God, is one who is the biggest. Brihatvat Bringhanatvacha. He's the biggest. Vishnu Puran says Brahma means one who is the largest, the biggest. But this Ram, he's very tall, but he's not the tallest, he's not the biggest. He can't take the whole, he cannot have the whole creation and he cannot absorb the entire creation. He's not that big, he's not Brahma. Plus, Brahm, God does not have any desires. But this Ram does. He has such great desire for his wife, Sita. Brahma is not supposed to be beautiful, but this Ram is so attractive that the mind automatically gets attracted to him. And she presented to herself many logics that made her think that Bhagwan Ram is not God. She kept on going back and forth between certainty that he has to be God. But no, he's not. He is, he's not. Then she thought, let me test him. And she assumed the form of Sita, and she sat in a spot where Bhagwan Ram was sure to notice her. And he did notice her. He came up to her, and now he dropped his acting. He was crying, oh, where's Sita? Where is Sita? Now he says to her, Pranam, mother. Pranam, ma. You're sitting here all alone. Where's my father? Mere pita, Shankar Bhagwan kahan hai? Where is my father? Why are you sitting all alone? And Parvati ji, her head bent down and she was very embarrassed. He knew that I'm not Sita. I had assumed the form of Sita. And he knew, oh, he is God. Then she went to Shankar Bhagwan and Shankar Bhagwan smiled and said, so you tested him? She said, no, Maharaj, I merely did pranam just like you did. Kachuna pariksha लीन गोसाई कीन pranam tumhari hi nai. I did pranam to him just like you did. Shankar Bhagwan said, you have assumed the form of my mother Sita. You see, Shankar Bhagwan considers Sita and Ram as his mother and father, and Bhagwan Ram considers Parvati and Shankar to be his mother and father, because it's one God, so they both worship one another. You have assumed the form of my mother, now you can no longer be my wife. And then Parvati had to destroy that body, then she was born again. Then she was accepted in the next birth by Shankar Bhagwan. Now, who is Parvati ji? She's the supreme goddess. There can be no doubt in her mind, but this is a divine one acting worldly, that she has doubts in her mind. Look at Bhagwan Ram doing his Leela, Nar Leela, and he knows everything. Does he not know where Sita is? Does he not know how to get her back? But it's all Leela, and the divine ones are acting as if they are not divine, acting as if they are worldly. Now, when Parvati ji assumed the form of Sita, even Lakshman ji was confused. Lachiman hu yah maram na jana. He was confused. Even Lakshman did not know that that was Sita. Then we have Bharat. Bharat found out that his mother Kaikeyi was solely responsible for sending Bhagwan Ram on that 14-year exile. Now he's accompanied by Sita and Lakshman. When Bharat found this out, he was so furious. He said, Hanya mahamimam papam kaikeyim dushtacharinim yadi me dharmiko ramo nasuyen matrighatakam. Valmiki Ramayana. O evil Kaikeyi, I would kill you if I were not afraid that my Lord Ram, that my elder brother, my beloved brother Ram would not disown me for this. I would have killed you instantly. You are an evil woman. He's speaking to his mother like this. Nate ham abhibhashyosmi durvritte patighatini Bhartrighatini dushte tvam kumbhi pakam gamishyasi. O evil Kaikeyi, he says, you will certainly go to Kumbhipak Narak after death. Kumbhipak is one of the 28 hells. He says, you will certainly go to Kumbhipak when you die for the sin that you have committed. And I do not ever wish to speak with you again. Nateham abhibhashyosmi. He calls her names. He says, I do not wish to talk to you. The Vedas, on the other hand, say, Matri Devo Bhava. Regard your mother as divinity unto you. So, if we had seen Lakshman, or rather Bharat, and we did see him, we were also here in Treta Yuga. When we saw him, would we have thought that he's a saint? He's acting so worldly, so worldly. And then Shatrughna is there. Shatrughna was so angry that Kaikeyi's ears had been poisoned by Manthara, her attendant, that this little old hunchback woman, Manthara, he went up to her and he kicked her in the back. So he just kicked her hunchback. And that did not satisfy his anger. Lage ghasitan dhari dhari jhonti. He grabbed her by the hair and dragged her. Are these the actions of a saint? Are these the actions of God? Because Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrughna, they're all one. One personality becomes four brothers. So is this what we expect from God? Or a godly soul? A saint? We certainly do not. So from Treta Yuga, when we go into Treta Yuga, we see that there are many saints who were acting worldly. We have yet to go into Dwapar Yuga, and then there's Kali Yuga. But I will take you into Dwapar Yuga and Kali Yuga when we meet here tomorrow. Until then, Boliye Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Shrimad Sadguru Sarkar ki Jai. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की बनवारी नथवारी की आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की बनवारी नथवारी की दुहुन सिर कनक मुकुट झलके दुहुन श्रुति कुंडल भल हलके छलके चसीले बैन रसीले बैन गसीले सैन दुहुल मैनन मनहारी की बनवारी नथवारी की आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की बनवारी दुहुन दृग चितवनी परवारी दुहुन लट लटकनी छवि न्यारी दुहुन भाव मटकनी अति प्यारी रसन मुख पान हसन मुस्कान दसन दमकान दुहुन बेसर छवि न्यारी की बनवारी नथवारी की आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की बनवारी नथवारी की एक उर पीतांबर फहरे एक उर नीलांबर लहरे छहरे कांकनन खनक किंकिनी झनक नूपुरन भनक रुन रुन झु
नथवारी की आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की बनवारी नथवारी की।
एक सिर मोर
मुकुट राजे
एक सिर चुनरी छवि छाजे,
दुहुन सिर तिरछे भल भ्राजे, संग ब्रज बाल लाडली लाल बाह गल डाल, कृपाल दुहुन मृगचारी की बनवारी नथवारी की आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की बनवारी नथवारी की आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की बनवारी नथवारी की।
श्री राम श्री राम श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन,
हरण भव भय दारुणं, नव कंज लोचन कंज मुख कर कंज पद कंचारुणं। श्री राम कंदर्प अगणित अमित छवि नवनील नीरद सुंदरम, पटपीत मानहु तडित रुचि शुचि, नवमी जनक सुतावरम। पटपीत मानहु तडित रुचि शुचि, नवमी जनक सुतावरम। श्री राम भजु दीन बंधु दिनेश दानव दैत्य वंश निकंदनम, रघुनंद आनंद कंद कौशल चंद दशरथ नंदनम। रघुनंद आनंद कंद कौशल चंद दशरथ नंदनम। श्री राम सिर मुकुट कुंडल तिलक चारु, उदार अंग विभूषणम। आजानु भुज सर चाप धर, संग्राम जित खर दूषणम। आजानु भुज सर चाप धर, संग्राम जित खर दूषणम। श्री राम इति वदति तुलसीदास, शंकर शेष मुनि मनरंजनम। मम हृदय कंज निवास गुरु, कामादिखल दल गंजनम। मम हृदय कंज निवास गुरु, कामादिखल दल गंजनम। श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन, हरण भव भय दारुणम। नव कंज लोचन कंज मुख कर कंज पद कंचारुणम। श्री राम
जयति जगद गुरु गुरुवर की, गाओ मिली आरती रसिक वर की।
गाओ गाओ मिली आरती रसिक वर की। गुरुपद नखमणि चंद्रिका प्रकाश, जाके उर बसे ताके मोह तम नाश। जाके माथ नाथ तब हाथ करवास, ताते होए माया मोह सब ही निराश, पावे गति मति रति राधावर की, गाओ मिली आरती रसिक वर की, गाओ गाओ मिली आरती रसिक वर की। अरे मन मूढ़ छाड़ना नारी नर हाथ, गुरु बिनु ब्रह्म श्याम होना देंगे साथ, कोमल कृपाल बड़े कृपा सिंधुनाथ, पाके इन्हें आज तू अनाथ हो सनाथ, इन्हीं के अधीन कृपा गिरिधर की, गाओ मिली आरती रसिक वर की, गाओ गाओ मिली आरती रसिक वर की। भक्ति योग रस अवतार अभिराम, करे निगमागम समन्वय ललाम, श्यामा श्याम नाम रूप लीला गुण धाम, बाट रहे प्रेम निष्काम बिनु दाम, हो रही सफल काया नर नर की, गाओ मिली आरती रसिक वर की, गाओ गाओ मिली आरती रसिक वर की। लली लाल लीला का सलोना सुविलास, छाया दिव्य दृष्टि बिच प्रेम का प्रकाश, वैसा ही विनोद वही मंजु मृदु हास, करे बस बर बस उच्च अट्टहास। जय हो झूमी चले चाल वही नटवर की, गाओ मिली आरती रसिक वर की, गाओ गाओ मिली आरती रसिक वर की। जयति जगत गुरु गुरुवर की, गाओ मिली आरती रसिक वर की, गाओ गाओ मिली आरती रसिक वर की।
बोलिए लाडली लाल की
जय,
सियावर रामचंद्र की
जय,
पवन सुत हनुमान की
जय,
जगत गुरुतम श्री कृपालु जी महाराज की
जय।
जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे।